What's going on, everyone? We're continuing on here. As you can see, I've already continued on. I've taken the whole outer shell off. I've actually already started installing the new fan on there. I took the old one off. I'm going to make sure this one's nice and solid and sealed all the way around the outside. There is a gap where this adapter is, but that's fine. That'll allow some more air in through the side that's blocked by whatever fan grill is on there. Now we need to go ahead and wire, just need to do a lot of wiring. We need to wire this up in place of the other fan. So all we got to do is connect that to this. This plugs in to our 12 volt power source, and then the other side is the pump, and this is for this fan. And then we need to wire up the other monitors and that LED to this, and mount that LED to the fan, make sure there's enough room for it, and then put this together. Alright, getting a little ahead of myself again. Already putting it back together here. So I realized the only issue with the fan being over here is now you can see the pump and kind of the stuff going on here, but hopefully the grill covers some of that. We got the temperature displays in, and I forgot that this one has the little nubs on there, so it doesn't want to sit all the way down. So I guess I still have to sand those off. I just don't have to remove the tabs because that actually holds it in place. Maybe I can just remove a couple of the tabs like on one side and it'll fit in there nice and snug. We've got the switch wired up to these two, and that piece on the bottom that I showed, that was a little Lego piece. Probably should have showed that before I flipped it around, but basically it was exactly how I showed it with the LED stuck through it. And I just put a little dab of glue out on the four corners where the little braces are on the fan. I didn't want to put it like a bead around it and have a big glob around there. I know I have one down here and across there and all the way around, but I just wanted to seal it all the way up. And I wouldn't really be able to use the screws other than one of them because it still is over nothing. And we saw what this case was like when we started with it. So yeah, I'm not going to be mad about that. And if I really wanted to, I could peel it off and get a more clear glue. This one doesn't seem super clear, but whatever. It's nice and solid. I trust how I have it mounted to, take these screws off and tighten them down. They're a pretty tight fit. So yeah, we'll just take those screws out, remove this, and then mount. See the holes here? Might be able to get to them without taking it off. Well, I guess not, because then the grill would be here and I can't stick my finger through the hole. But anyway, we got this on, we're going to put this on, and we're just going to fire it up and see what it looks like. So, there we are. Shut this off. See that light behind the fan? Nice little single LED. There's enough backlight from the other lights behind there as well. But this definitely matches a lot better than that other fan combo. It's all smoke clear to match the smoke clear case with the red clear fan to match the red. And yeah, I'm excited to get the last couple things for this one. Straightened out the LED strip back here to make sure it's nice and smooth. Kind of angled it back this way a little bit as well, so it's not just shining outwards and it's kind of illuminating more downwards on the ghost shell. And like I said, we got some decals and the fan grill, and that's pretty much it. And I gotta adjust that monitor a little bit so it sits all the way flush. But yeah, as you can see, you can have those on or off if you want, especially since they're a little brighter than everything else in there, and extend the life of those. But yeah, look at that. Still see through that whole shell. Very cool. Alright, now I'll take this apart real quick, because I do need to swap out one of the LEDs. Doesn't seem to be working. I think I want to swap one of the thumbsticks. Since we have one red trigger, we'll do one red thumbstick maybe. And I'll show how I put this inside there. Now, one thing with this is I actually got, it was 3 of these. A Death Star, a Millennium Falcon, and I think Boba Fett's Slave 1. And basically, turn that off. It just came with something I got on eBay. They just like included it. It was kind of cool. And I'm looking at it. I take the Death Star out. I'm like, I want to put this somewhere in here, and I'm trying to find a place I could just kind of glue it, and that'd be kind of cool. And then I'm like, you know what? I wonder if that fits in there. And it did not. But as you can see, without the clear ring around it, it does fit in there. So yeah, I'll kind of show how I connected that to the button there. And I don't know, opinions, is it too tall? I didn't cut the Death Star itself at all, but I may kind of flatten out the bottom just a tiny bit so that this will sit lower and look more like the factory guide button. But also it's the Death Star, and it looks like that's the entire Death Star, which is cool to have in there. So I don't know, let me know. But let's look at that, and then I've got something to do on the secret project. Yeah, speaking of other things, this is what I wanted to do. So before I take the 500 gig out of this one, because obviously I could install it and finish up the Ruby Red hard drive, but I can't put that hard drive into this one without blocking that extra airflow that this one is meant for. So we're going to leave it in here for now, and this one's fine in the Ruby Red. That doesn't really affect much of anything, although it might actually provide a little extra airflow up there maybe. Yeah, we're going to run this one for a little while, do a little temperature test, and then put it on the Ruby Red and test that one out with the fans on 5 volts and then 12 volts, and just compare the two. And then we will finish that other hard drive. And right, it's time to play some game, or do a temperature. We're gonna do a temperature test. So we're gonna start with this one. Got our standby light on. Got the wrong hard drive, but like I said, I want to leave that in here so I can play the same game on both. For experiment reasons. So we're just gonna do, I don't know, maybe we'll do a time limit, or I'll just do like a couple of races like I did on the other temperature test in the past, and then we'll put it on here and run the same amount of time, see what happens. None of these have been on at all today. This is the next day, by the way. So yeah, we're starting at a baseline. Haven't had the AC unit on in here, so I guess it would be good to know the temperature in this room, but oh well, I'll just tell you it feels fine. So let's start with this one. Turn on the projector, and I don't know, we'll just do like a 20 to 30 minute playthrough. On this one though, obviously I want to start with the fans on normal, and then about halfway through I'll turn the fans on so we can get a double test. Probably be useful to plug in the HDMI. There we go. Alright. See what our starting temperatures are for this one. $37 processor, 38 graphics, 34 memory, 23 chassis. Alright, so we're going to load up some Need for Speed, and we will report back after about 10 or 15 minutes, and we'll check the temperature and then turn on the nitro switch. Alright, so chilling here at the bus station. It's been at least 15 minutes. We're in the middle of a pursuit here. So we're at 52 processor, 63 graphics, 59 memory, 28 chassis. So yeah, first of all, we can see processor and graphics are a lot closer together. I don't know if I ever showed with the previous heat sinks on there, but this would definitely be at about 70 by now, and this one would be a little bit lower, more like 50, and same with the memory. So We can see how those are closer together because of that single piece heatsink. We're now going to go ahead and activate the nitro switch and then continue this pursuit here. See what happens. Let's look at this for just a second. You can see it's already going down a little bit. Another pursuit. Okay, I got arrested and had to start over. But anyway, it's been... I don't even know how long it's been. Let's see what we got here. 46, 54, 50, 26. So, good news is the nitro switch, even when it's already up to temp, will lower it and keep it lower. So, and that's a pretty good difference there. Processor 46, it's after playing for a while. 54 graphics, a lot cooler than 70 plus. Now we're going to play a little bit longer with it back off. And then we'll test out the Vader build. Quickly back up to 52, 61, 57. So still good when it's in quiet mode. Now, yeah, I'm sure some people, the nitro switch there would be bothersome. I mean, when I'm playing racing games, I can't hear this at all. So I'd like to turn it up and actually, you know, hear the game. But, yeah, that's where we're at. So, let's go ahead and throw it in the Vader and do the same thing. Alright, same thing. According to these, we're starting at 23. But we're obviously going to go by here. So we're starting at 30, 28, 24, 23. I already forgot the other ones, but that looks like it's about similar. Got up here, what the heck? On this one it says 6 a.m. I could have swore the other one just said 4 a.m. Anyway, that's our starting point. We'll say at... well, I don't know. We'll check in at 6:15, 6:20-ish. $6.19, 41, 38, 35, 36. So as you can see, graphics is lower than processor on this one. And yeah, it's not, doesn't have a screaming fan like that one to keep it at, I don't know what, 10 to 20 degrees cooler overall. Sweet. Anyway, let's go ahead now, take that hard drive, finish up the one here in the ruby red. This stuff's really hard to work with. I just kind of tried to spiral it around. It's a little random, but I could either just cut like a short strip or try to use the whole thing at least. So there it is. I don't know, kind of cool. Sort of like a spiral. I might be able to get it a little more so that it gets smaller in the middle there, but it really doesn't bend that far without kind of kinking, so didn't know if that would affect the light, but I don't know, it's kind of cool. Looks like spaghetti in there or something. Alright, so that's pretty much officially done. Got our controller. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Now I will show this button real quick, and then I got a couple things to do on the secret. I believe this is the LED I need to swap out. I don't know if it's just faulty or what, but it doesn't seem to be firing. Take this off. See, we got regular guide button on the back, but it's pretty much cut in half there, and that's to allow room for this part to slide in and out. But I had to kind of glue this in place with the ring around it and hold it without gluing the ring to it, because the Death Star does not fit through that ring on this side. And the button is not meant to go through on this side with those two tabs there. So we just kind of cut it in half. Now, like I said, I could remove this and like cut a little bit of the bottom of the Death Star off to lower it a little bit more. I can't really cut any more of this button off without it probably cracking with how small, like how little of it is left. But anyway, it goes in this way. Just like that, and I just took the whole thing apart. Okay. So yeah. And, you know, I wanted to keep the red Ring of Light controller for the Ruby Red build. I don't have any more red LEDs at the moment, so I wanted to keep green. And what better way than to put the Death Star there, because that makes sense. So let me put another LED in this, put this together, set that one aside. That one's all ready to go. We do need to load up a couple more hard drives for this one and hopefully the Oda one, if we can figure out what's going on with that. We'll circle back to that one after the secret project. Okay, we got all that wiring done here on the secret project. Got the top panel on, the screws, eject button. I'm going to go ahead and put the back panel on, all the other vents, test it out real quick. Alright, it's all together. There it goes, everything's working. And now if you press this, still might need some stronger fans on that, but that is so funny. There it goes. I can't wait to send this. This is insane. Final thing I wanted to show, as we know, this is I'm going to use one of these chrome faceplates, chrome fan, and we want to make this one a car theme. So we're going to be using some of these gauges for thermometers, and this is a legit turbo velocity stack. I'm going to have to cut it down quite a bit in the middle, but look at that. That legit looks like a turbo. That's so cool. Alright guys, long video, got a lot of stuff done. 3 systems pretty much ready to go. Well, technically 4. Get that controller in probably before I even post this. And like, comment, subscribe.